Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how your feelings are vibrations that communicate with the world around you. So stay tuned. This is yet another episode of Notes from Heaven, because the inspiration for today's video comes from the notes that I take whenever my grandpa tells me about the channeled letters he receives from my grandma in heaven. So in today's video, I was looking through my notes from heaven and I saw a quote that just stood out to me, and it inspired this video right now. And what I read was, peace and love felt are communication itself. After I read that little statement that peace and love felt are communication itself, I started to look at the rest of the little quotes that I wrote in my little notes from heaven, and I realized that quite a few of these things that I wrote down had to do with communication in one way or another, and how communication is really something that is felt, not only something that is expressed with words. As one of the quotes that I wrote states, it says, "Yes, I can quite easily communicate with others. However, the joy I feel speaks for itself when around other beings." And another quote from my grandma actually reads, "Words as we know them are inadequate when the love I feel is so overwhelming." Both of those statements rang as absolutely true to me, because I'm sure we've all experienced both of these things, where you can feel someone's joy or even someone's sadness without any words having to be spoken. The feeling itself is communication enough between two people. And we've also experienced where we can just feel so strongly about someone or something, but at the same time, find that words are simply inadequate to explain the depth of that feeling, the depth of the love or the joy that can be felt at particular times. So communication definitely has a lot more to do with feeling rather than with just words, because it's in the feeling. That is what we're actually vibrating out into the universe. It is how you feel in every single moment that is reverberating at a certain vibration. We've talked about it in many videos in the past, but it's similar to what you see on Dr. David Hawkins' map of consciousness from the book Power versus Force. When you take a look at this map of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, then you can easily see that it would be to your benefit and add to your own personal power to maintain a higher vibration, because the higher your vibration, the better you feel. And it's illustrated right here through this map of consciousness. The lower vibrations make you depleted of energy. So feelings of, shame, guilt, anger, and all of that lower stuff is depleting your energy. It's making you have this force, you against the universe, right? But if you can raise your vibration into the more powerful vibrations, the higher vibrations of consciousness, That's when you start to realize that it adds to your power. Feeling the love in your heart adds to your power. When you can live in balance and enjoy as often as possible, it is charging your spirit rather than depleting your spirit. This idea kind of reminds me of that movie from, years back called Failure to Launch. And Matthew McConaughey's character in that movie is always getting bit by animals out in nature or like attacked randomly by nature whenever he was out with his friends. But that was during the time in his life where he was more out of balance and he was kind of like taking advantage of people and not seeing the bigger picture. In the end, when Matthew McConaughey's character finally found balance and happiness and real joy in his life, it's like nature finally just harmonized with him. So it kind of reminded me of that in the movie because it's like the more that you are in balance with the higher vibrations, with love and joy that comes from a real and true place inside of you, that's when the whole universe can respond in that like way. But when you're out of balance and you're constantly like living in a strange little chaos that you create in your own mind, right? We create our own happiness and our own chaos. But when we're living more in that lower vibration stuff, that's when the universe will also respond in like kind. And you'll receive more of those experiences that are uncomfortable and even painful at times. You create your reality, whether it's positive or negative. It is how you feel about your life that is creating your future life. So the same me who back in my 20s was kind of chaotic and always kind of living in one certain drama or another. I'm a different person now in my 40s, yet I am the same person. But what has changed is that now I know how to stay more in balance in my day-to-day life. And it actually creates so much more love, peace, and joy in my being. And I attract and draw more of that to myself now than I ever could have when I was kind of, on a roller coaster up and down in my emotions all the time. So when you are using your feelings to communicate with yourself and spirit to tell you where you're right and wrong in your life, you're also using your feelings to communicate that out into the world through the vibration that it carries, that is being reverberated throughout the entire universe. My grandpa asked my grandma a question through the channel letters, and he asked, "Are there any real language barriers?" And the answer to that question is no, there is not a language barrier. Peace and love felt are communication itself. Another question that was asked through the letters was if my grandma could speak to God directly. And the answer was this: yes, we are all connected to God in such a way that we could never be apart from Him. We are connected to God in a way that we can never be apart from Him. And I believe that that way that we are connected to God is through our feelings. So if you remember, I made a video one time about the Christ stream versus the Antichrist stream. And if you're on the Christ stream, then you're living in the higher vibrations and you're more connected with the Christ-like characteristics. And if you're more in line with the Antichrist stream, then you may be vibrating in those lower vibrations on the scale of consciousness. And that is contrary to what God wants of you. God wants you to live on the Christ stream. And the way to live on the Christ stream is through the feelings. You can't get there by feeling badly about yourself. You have to make yourself feel good. You can create the life of your dreams.
Your dreams are always yours to make. Yes, your dreams are yours to make. Your dreams are always yours to make. Yes, your dreams are yours to make.
I want to leave you guys with one more quote from my Notes from Heaven. And here's the quote. The most important part of creating is to enjoy what you are doing. Put your will with God's will, and He will bless you for it. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with all your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on that notifications bell if you'd like to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.